The ministry is embarking on a transformational project to get passport offices across the country to reduce the pressure on the few available offices, admitting that the online registration has not ended the pressure because of the few offices.
We have pressure on the system, so you still have some backlogs, you still have some people, queuing and all that. But our desire is that even within Greater Accra, we're going to have 2 centers for the online system, one in Greater Accra and one in Tema. Then we also roll it out to the 9 other regions in Ghana. All these initiatives will be done and completed this year.
He reiterated the need for Ghanaians to support the national identification process, which he is of the view will solve most challenges associated with identifying Ghanaians from foreigners.
Well, joining me in the studio is Chief Executive Officer, Africa Center for Security and Counterterrorism, Emmanuel Coutin, and we're here to look at the issue, the matter that has come up. We're looking at ECOWAS integration and national security, and also the call by the Nigerian IGP that we shouldn't hesitate to deal with people who break the law. Hello, good afternoon, Emmanuel Coutin, and thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your cherished viewers as well. And to our Muslim brothers and sisters, let me use this platform to wish them a happy Salah.
Well, that's good. Okay, so let's get to the matter at hand. How worried are you that the Nigerian IGP admitted that security operatives in his country did not collaborate with their Ghanaian counterparts after the arrest of the alleged kidnapper?
If you ask me worried, I would say no, because it's not a new thing. I'm just happy that the IGP had the guts to say that in the forum he did. It should be a wake-up call for Ghanaians. And it's high time we start becoming good citizens than being spectators. And you can imagine, he said they did this operation without the collaboration of our security agencies.
That's why we asked whether you are worried,
yes.
that we are neighbors and something of that sort
It
happens.
shows that there is something under the banner. Probably they feel that some of our security operatives were aiding him.
Okay.
Because obviously they know he has a Ghanaian passport. Or it could be what has been the usual problem, the ECOWAS protocols that makes exchange of information so difficult.
Okay.
If you were to get information from the other country over a very urgent matter, it can take weeks. And these criminals, they are always ahead of time. But look, let's do self-retrospection. And I mentioned about we becoming good citizens than being spectators. How did this gentleman acquire a Ghanaian passport? How was he able to have houses in Ghana here? Look, the ECOWAS protocol is so clear. You have to go through certain processes even before you can own houses in any ECOWAS country. But in our part of the world, it looks as if the foreigners are even given more laxity than we, the citizens. Go and acquire a passport. You queue for weeks. But a foreigner will come within a day and that passport will be given. So the decentralization of our passport acquisition procedure should be scrapped. And it should be centralized such that the various agencies who, under the current arrangement, are allowed to issue passports are scrapped. And even issuing passport overseas, I know sometimes because of the bureaucratic nature and the time-sensitive nature, some of the embassies are allowed to issue passport. But my sister, look at the developed countries. The passport is one single instrument they protect so well. How can you get a British passport through the back door? How can you get an American passport through the back door?
Well, so this is an issue that they are still, investigating. But on the issue where we have the Nigerian IGP himself coming to us to tell us that they did their investigations and all that without the involvement of our Ghanaian counterparts, is there some sort of mistrust, To
be very honest with you, but every security standards and protocol the Federal Republic of Nigeria IGP broke such protocols, especially given the forum he mentioned some of these things. But look, to me, who can blame him? We have put ourselves in that, but the issue why they conducted this investigation without the Ghanaian counterparts, to me, the bottom line is simple. Maybe they feel that if even Ghanaian operatives were in the known, some of them could even tip this guy to jam the bill. So it falls back to our security agencies. And you see, I'm tired of sitting here and talking ill about our security agencies every now and then, especially the police. Okay. You see, I think the evolution that has happened in other parts of the world as far as policing is concerned, it has not gotten to us yet. And I'm wondering, after 25 years of democratic rule under the Fourth Republic, we are still practicing our policing as if it is a standing force. For Christ's sake, policing is about enforcing laws, and there must be this kind of community collaboration. But we don't see that in us. In Ghana today, depending on the car you drive, police will wave you on. And we, those who are not privileged enough, we are in the trotros, in the taxis, or in some kind of racket vehicles, we are made to face the brunt of their, And another thing too is that, you see our police, some of our police personnel, sometimes I argue that they don't have resources. But I've observed over the some few days now, that we misapply even the very little resources we have. You see, a policeman would take a patrol vehicle and is parked in front of the girlfriend's house and either drinking or having fun. And no one will have the guts to question the policeman or woman that you are on duty. You cannot do A or B. And you see, that impunity within the service has brought us this far. Look, it is high time we start gradually integrating our police service into our communities and stop this housing of police personnel. I'm not sure it's helping us. I have lived in the UK. I can talk about the UK. Their police personnel lives among the indigenous. Even then, it helps them in intelligence gathering. Okay. But look, this system of housing policemen, it was pre-colonial, and I think it's high time we do away with those things.
You said that the Nigerian IGP broke protocol, by giving out that information. What exactly do you mean by that?
Because if you look at the intelligence regime, the matter is still ongoing. There are other investigations that are going on. So for the fact that you didn't even collaborate with the Ghanaian counterpart initially is enough scar for the Ghanaian security agencies to be suspicious of your motives. Then to add injury to salt, you try to cover your own as if Ghana is the basin of lawlessness where you can easily acquire a passport or you can easily acquire ill-gotten wealth through crime. It's not the case. Nigeria, I'm telling you, is just a one-off. I've been to Nigeria at a point for a conference. I went to a place, someone was having a wedding, and policemen were guiding the groom and firing shots into the air.
Well, let's hold on
here. And those kind of things. So if you want to compare our service to the Nigerian police service, I will give our service 100% every day. Even the UN rates our service so high. So they should look at their to solve their own matters and don't spat Ghana in international forum.
Well, you'll be with us, in the next about 10 or so minutes. We'll still look at issues that has to do with security. Let's now get to the Ghana IGP, and the Inspector General of Police, David Asante-Pietu, has directed officers of the service not to hesitate to deal decisively with everybody or everyone who breaks the law. He cautioned officers against suppressing the rights of people in the line of their duty. The IGP was addressing service commanders across the 11
Do not hesitate to deal with lawbreakers. The laws of this country do not wear political colors. Neither has crime any political affiliation. Let us be firm, impartial, and above all, professional in the discharge of our duties. The pockets of impunity over the years, climaxed by the twin death of the late Major Maxwell Adam Mahama and Constable Michael Boyi at Denchroboase and Tema, respectively. Such acts of impunity and lawlessness can no longer be condoned. Such cowardly behavior of a few social deviants cannot hold us back. In fact, the death of any single Ghanaian on the platform of lawlessness, violence, and/or impunity is one too many. Dear commanders, I charge all of you to have as your mantra, zero tolerance for impunity. Let us stop it. Let us do it for the people of Ghana. They are tired of the emerging recklessness, indiscipline, lawlessness, and above all, the gross impunity among young people who are supposed to breathe hope into the future of our country to make it great and strong. In our effort to win the fight against impunity, lawlessness, and violent crime, let us be mindful of the constitutionally guaranteed rights and freedoms of the Ghanaian people. Let us continue to respect the rule of law in all we do. Policing has changed so much over the last 3 decades, requiring relevant innovations to remain functional. It is against this background that the Ghana Police Service is undergoing a major transformation in line with our vision to become a world-class police service.
Well, so you heard the IGP, David Asante, appear to directing officers of the service not to hesitate to deal decisively with everybody who breaks the law. And let's come back to the studio and talk to Emmanuel Coutin, and he is the Chief Executive Officer, Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Well, so what do you make of the IGP's statement? Has it come at the right time for us?
In fact, I don't want to be... He's a good friend, but I think his call is belated. And it shouldn't take the president to give orders for him to carry it. It should be the other way around. See, when you are appointed by the president, and as an IGP, you are for all. At that point, politics is not in here. So you now have the mandate to enforce whatever you feel is necessary to keep the country lawful, and law-abiding citizens can go about their activities peacefully. But in recent times, you see the level of impunity and lawlessness in the country. Yeah. And I am just sick and tired of these rhetorics. If you go back time immemorial and you look at statements like this that have been made, we want to see the actions. You see,
if you say action, what exactly, are you looking for, for the president or even the IGP to do? If you say action, because
in this case, it's not even the president. He has been given a mandate, and he will be judged depending on how he will discharge his duties. But I think that since he assumed the role of the IGP, there have been a lot of incidences around the country. And I don't want to say it's this particular party or the other party. I think we as citizens, we all have a collective duty on our individual parts to make the country governable. But you see, these statements come every now and then, but we don't see anything happening on the ground.
Let's wrap up with the level of impunity you have spoken about. How can we build trust, with the police, between them and the communities in which they operate, or the country?
they should crack down on lawlessness in the country, irrespective of the party's political affiliation or his status in society. Like I mentioned, people who have money in this country, they are untouchable. You go to most of them homes and police are even protecting them when they are not even government officials. So these are the things. And I have always said every now and then that, look, the police need to kind of reach back to the communities, build that trust. And they can only do that through civil society organizations. Okay. And more often than not, when they are doing their programs, they don't even invite us. So that kind of...
That's a major worry to you.
It's not a major worry to me. I feel that it would have aided in their work because we are in touch with the people. We are at the grassroots with the people. They run to us and complain every now and then. But you see, policing has changed. It's no more a standing force. Okay. But our police service still see policing as a standing force. No, it's a collaborative activity now. And the earlier they get down to the communities, and look, it's not difficult to do. Police can organize sensitization programs across the districts. Listen to the concerns of the public. You see, one way of the people building trust with the police is the people seeing that you care about what they are talking about.
Thank you very much. I think that when they involve you more, you would put across all these, salient information to them. Thanks so much. I have interacting with Chief Executive Officer, Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism, Emmanuel Coutin. Thanks for coming, as always. Welcome. We are so grateful to you. This is still Midday Live with me, AC Benewanyami. Let's do other stories. And the Ga West Municipal Assembly says it will demolish more than 100 homes built on waterways. The structures have been identified as a major cause of flooding in the area.
Flooding occurs in the Ga West municipality anytime it rains. This is blamed on several homes built on waterways. Akotoshi, Midday, Opa and Oduntia are some of the communities that often get flooded. Majority of buildings in these areas were constructed without permit. The communities also have no proper drainage systems. However, other communities who are fortunate to have drains have erected structures on them, thereby impeding the smooth flow of water. The head of the Physical Planning Department of the Assembly, Nana Kwame Ejiman, who described the development as a nuisance, affirmed the Assembly is pursuing action plans to stop flooding.
Assembly does not endorse irregularities, and there is no way the Assembly will go ahead and give permit to structures along waterways. Something will be done about it.
The Municipal Chief Executive Clement Ninamte Wilkinson is also not happy with the development.
We have the planning system there, and we are going to look at it and make sure whoever is building on unauthorized places.
To some health issues now, and experts say 7 out of every 10 women in Ghana are obese. The situation is likely to worsen due to the high intake of junk food. The regional director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Linda Van Otu, gave the figures at a food bazaar organized by the nutritional experts in Accra.
The rate at which people are becoming obese and diabetic is mainly associated to the inability of people to engage in physical activity, bad eating habits and genetics. Health experts fear the increase in obesity in women could affect their economic livelihood. Therefore, the need to bring together stakeholders to help increase nutritional levels in women. Member of Parliament for Clote Korle, Dr. Zenato Rawlings, was concerned about why Ghanaians do not see locally produced foods as an alternative to foreign foods when it is more nutritious.
We've gone into this fast food cycle, which is ignoring a lot of our local dishes, which actually provide the nutrients that we need. You know, you have children now who are, you go to places and the children are drinking soft drinks all the time or eating lots of sweet processed foods. And there are things here that are fresh, that are natural, which will actually make them healthy.
The regional director of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Linda Van Otu, was worried about the neglect of local foods whilst people spend time to eat what their system is not used to.
So obesity, it is increasing in the country. You look at even young children. When you go to some of the schools, you find that some of the children are really big, and that is not good for their health, because we have a lot of people coming down with hypertension and diabetes.
The program also focused on the use of biodegradable materials for packaging to reduce the problems of plastic waste in Ghana.
And on medical notes, this afternoon, my colleague Akosia J. Osono speaks with Dr. Chris Opoku, a senior specialist obstetrician gynecologist at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, or the RICH Hospital. The topic is factors which trigger uterine fibroid and how it can be managed.
Uterine fibroid, one common thing that many women will see is the increase in menstrual flow. So they realize that their menses could stay longer, and the amount of blood, if they were using 1 or 2 parts in a day, they could be using by far more. So they bleed more and in clots. So when you have that type of bleeding, there could be an underlying uterine fibroid. Also, some could feel like heaviness in the pelvis, because some could get quite big that when you touch the abdomen yourself, you feel there is a huge ball or something like a stone in there. So they feel that heaviness pressing on the bladder. As a result, some could be urinating a bit more frequently, and when they move or they walk, they feel that heaviness or sensation that there is something else moving in the lower part of the abdomen or the pelvis.
Well, good information there. Stay with us. We have more news coming up after this.
After 8 weeks of pitching business ideas from over 500 entrepreneurs all over Africa, the 3FM Business Pitch comes to an end with 5 entrepreneurs making it to the grand finale. Who wins the $10,000 in cash and in market access? Are you an investor looking for an avenue to invest your capital? Make a date to join the top 5 at the 3FM Business Pitch grand finale as they pitch their business to the world on Wednesday, 28 June at the TV3 Executive Theatre at 5 p.m. The 3FM Business Pitch is powered by 3FM 92.7 and TKC Africa with support from TV3, Yali West Africa, Kirusa, Technology Grace Entertainment, and InnoHub. The 3FM Business Pitch. We grow your business.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Chilium Industrial Company Limited wishes
all Muslims Ramadan Mubarak. May this Ramadan be a month of blessings and guidance to you and your family.
Chilium, the producers of Rush Energy Drink,
Planet Food Drink,
Rasta Choco Malt,
Verna Mineral Water,
American Cola Zero, Vigo Soft Drink,
Easy Soft Drinks,
and other ranges of soft drinks. Wishes our Muslim community a Ramadan Mubarak 2017.
Ramadan, Ramadan. رمضان يا حبيب رمضان رمضان ليتك دوما قريب.
Log on to www.3news.com for more news and updates of our major stories. Join us on Facebook 3News GH for live streaming and comments on our page. Like and follow us on Twitter at 3News GH and at 3Sports GH. Like our pictures on Instagram, TV3 Network. If you missed our live shows, watch a playback on YouTube, TV3 GH. TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
Let's do business now. And the Petroleum Commission wants gas and oil companies to exhaust the capacity of local banks before looking up to the international market for financing. According to the Chief Executive of the Commission, Theophilus Ahrin, government is keen on ensuring local businesses across various sectors make the most opportunities in the oil and gas sector.
In November 2013, Parliament passed the Petroleum Local Content and Participation Regulation to help integrate the sector into the economy. The insurance industry has worked through a consortium to ensure all insurances in the industry are placed locally and reinsured to the international markets.
Our objective is to ensure that we are not just receiving royalties and taxes from the sector. We want indigenous people, indigenous companies to participate.
To ensure local banks have a role to play in the industry, the Petroleum Commission, in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana, is developing guidelines for players in the oil and gas industry, demanding the use of local banks before resorting to the international market. The Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Theophilus Ahweren, says government is keen on ensuring local businesses across various sectors make the most of opportunities in the oil and gas sector.
They need to know, for example, that when we are doing developments, companies raise debts. This is the order of magnitude. This is the risk profile of what we're looking at. And then they'll be able to participate.
The Commission will provide information to banks on different areas of financial intermediation so they could explore.
We've done, I would say, maybe about 75 to 80% of the consultation. We need certain mechanisms to be put in place. That will depend on the success of our discussions with the Central Bank.
Reacting to the move, the Senior Vice President, Marketing, Research and Corporate Affairs at Royal Bank, Kwame Banyuakon, was hopeful of a breakthrough for the banking industry.
It provides, a ready-made market, but then it also means that the banks and others should be ready. It's not everybody who is able to, let's say, offer services in an industry that they don't understand.
He, however, cautioned against overly increasing the minimum capital requirements for banks.
We should not use the fact that we are trying to make sure Ghanaian banks are able to do big ticket deals to force banks to capitalize to a level that they can't. If every bank is doing big ticket deals, what would the SMEs do?
And TV3 Business can confirm that Domain Trustees Limited, the company which sued the National Investment Bank, is considering a number of options, including a possible review of a Supreme Court judgment which dismissed a $60 million judgment debt against the bank. The suit arose out of the bank's decision to guarantee promissory notes purchased by Eland Ghana Limited. Here's a News Desk report.
TV3 Business news sources claim representatives of Dominion trustees are currently studying the ruling of the Supreme Court. This is expected to, in the next few days, determine their next line of action. Economy watchers say any action could have grave consequences for Ghana's investment climate. The 5-member Supreme Court panel, presided over by Chief Justice Sophia Ekufu, in its ruling said Dominion trustees had no capacity to have initiated the action, and that the writ Dominion trustees filed at the High Court did not indicate they were the real investors. The suit was commenced against the NIB by Standard Bank Offshore Trust Company and was later substituted by Dominion Corporate Trustees Limited on behalf of investors who had purchased promissory notes issued by Eland Ghana Limited and guaranteed by NIB. Under the terms of the transaction, the investors had to pay a discounted total sum of $45 million in May 2007, and upon maturity of the promissory note on January 29, 2009, reap $60 million, thus earning $15 million in profit.
Well, now let's get to the ports now. And the Port Security Task Force has sealed off and stopped work on the 2 unauthorized port facilities under construction 5 days after the discovery of illegality in Tema and Keta, describing the projects as a security threat. Deputy Transport Minister Titus Nikwate Glover also entreated private developers behind the projects to own up. Josephine Frimpong has more.
Task Force made up of the Ghana Navy, Marine Police, National and Port Security have moved in again after 5 days.
They have to stop work, and with effects from today, everybody within the yard is going to go out of the yard till further notice.
The Tema project, which is an LPG gas facility and a 600-meter breakwater, was subsequently sealed off and workers ordered to halt operation with immediate effect. Investigations revealed that the private developer had secured the land space and permit granted by the previous administration of the GPHA.
The fight against terrorism, the fight against stowaways. If this thing goes on at the international level, the image of our country will be in tatters. Child trafficking, all these are activities that can thrive in Ghana if we allow such a thing to happen. It is not only here, in the Volta region, in the Western region, people are doing it, and we are determined to stop it.
Project started before my outfit issued a permit. I'll go back to investigate how come the permit was issued for this project, because my outfit, which is the TMA, is also supposed to know better.
Has instructed them to put a hold on the work that they are doing because of the security implications, and to make sure that we're going through all their paperwork. GPHA should be part and parcel of this project right from the beginning.
At Anyanyui in the Keta municipality, a fishing harbour was also under construction. The task force escorted the Chinese nationals out of the yard.
It is shocking. I can see every activity taking place in the port. And we are expanding the port to 3 times the current capacity to provide for the needs of all those who are engaged in international trade in all commodities. And right under our noses, we have a private facility being erected here.
Information also gathered indicates that other similar projects are under construction around the Takoradi Port area.
And that'll be all for business. Thierry Nyan will join us in a moment with the latest from the world of sports. Stay with us.
Make your baking even better with Blue Band's original new sachet. It's ideal for soft, fluffy, and tasty cakes.
My name is Dr. Michael Ejekumado, the CEO of Mikado Holdings, formerly Kama Group of Companies. Join me this Monday, 26th of June 2017, on time with the captains with Pakwesi Asare, as I engage with students, live on TV3.
Hi, good afternoon. It's time to bring you all the latest in the world of sports with me, Thierry Nyan. Now, we start on a rather sad note. Lazoo and he'll respond Lazoo. That was how Herbert Addo was known in football circles, but today, that feeling of warmness and comradeship will assume a somber mood when the football family, led by the president of the Ghana Football Association, gather to pay their final respect and tribute to the late national coach who died last March after a short illness. The former Black Stars Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko head coach Herbert Addo will be buried today, June 24, at his hometown, Ikropon Ikapim.
Herbert Addo called for time off his coaching career after parting ways with Ghana Premier League side Inter Allies last season. He spent 36 years of coaching on the domestic front at club and national team levels. Herbert Addo was born 6 years before Ghana gained independence on the 24th of June 1951 in Accra and hails from Ebri Konkonduri in the eastern region of Ghana. Herbert Addo is one of the pioneers of Christ the King School in Accra. At age 10, he was sent to England, where he schooled at Homewood House School at Cambridge Wells in Queens. He had his college education at Lansing College in Britain, the same college attended by sitting President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, before moving to Ivory Hill College of Education, which is part of the London universities specializing in physical education and English. He returned to Ghana in 1978 and continued his coaching career and was employed by the National Sports Council, now the National Sports Authority. Addo then guided Kotoko to Premier League trophy in 1988 before moving to Gabon to have a brief stint with Shell FC. On his return, he joined Great Olympics, then to Gapoa, before joining Ashanti Gold in 1994. He won 2 Premier League titles in succession and led them to the final of the maiden CAF Champions League. In late 2002, he was appointed to replace legendary Jones Atukwefio as coach of Hearts of Oak and won the league in his first season, but left the side in 2004. Addo had a second spell with the Porcupine Warriors Midday in the 2008-2009 league season, but he moved on to join newly promoted side Aduana Stars in 2009 and helped them win the league in their first season, becoming the first newly promoted team to do so in 2009-2010. Herbert Addo then went on to coach Wasserman BA United before his last outing with Inter Allies, when Ghana hosted and won the Wafu Championship with Abedi Pele, the only foreign-based player in the team, as his captain. He is the first Ghanaian coach to play in the final of the CAF Champions League in 1997. Herbert Addo won the Ghana Premier League on 5 occasions with 4 different clubs, and he remains the only coach to have achieved that feat in the history of the local game. Herbert Addo, one of Ghana's best coaching brains. Rest in peace, sir.
May Coach Herbert Addo's soul rest in perfect peace. But his former side, most recent side that he coached, Inter Allies, are definitely going to be in action in the Ghana Premier League. And after last week's MTN FA Cup action, the Ghana Premier League resumes this weekend with the main talking points surrounding the title chasers. Wafa, Aduana Stars, Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Kotoko need a win to climb into the top 4 of the standings, but to do so, Steve Pollack's side will have to negotiate a win past champions, while Stars struggling Almina Sharks are expected to produce a resilient display against Hearts of Oak, but the Phobians will maintain their 3rd position regardless of the results. Great Olympics face Liberty Professionals in an Accra derby. Tema Youth will also clash with Inform Aduana Stars. Now, that game I was telling you about, Ash Gold's pursuits of top flight football next season continues in week 19 as they face off with Inter Allies. With all those games, all of them are tomorrow, with the exception of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Wild Stars, which comes off later today at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi. But away from that, Emmanuel Ajambedu, who was left out of the squad with, trashed Ethiopia at the Baba Yara Stadium earlier this month, expressed his joy after Samuel Safo gained a call-up to the national team and says the policeman, cum footballer, deserves the opportunity.
I think he deserves to be in the national team. I watched some of his games at Liberty Professionals. I remember we were in camp in Alisa. I was passing through the pool side where I saw them with the policeman. And I said, Safo, you are here to guide us. You will be here soon, don't worry. He said, Senior, that's my willing to hear. Now, he's with the national team. I hope he will get a chance and grab the opportunity because he has really worked hard and it's important for him to be in the team.
All right, of course, that interview is on the back of the fact that Samuel Safo has been included in the Black Star setup to face USA and Mexico. The squad traveled yesterday to the United States of America. But we move away from there, still in football. Football academies have been noted for producing top-notch players who play at the highest level. At the Right to Dream Academy, the blend between education and football is perfect. Yafusulabi visited the academy on the graduation ceremony of the 7th generation of players and filed this report.
When it comes to developing players, few football academies can compete with the Right to Dream Academy. A fortnight ago, while 2 of their graduates played for the Black Stars in an AFCON qualifier as Ghana beat Ethiopia by 5-0, another 2 watched from the bench. It only further entrenched how much of a leader the academy has become in the production of players at different levels for all the national teams. The academy has also over the years served as a lifeline for many talented but needy footballers and given hope to many. King Osei-Jan enrolled in the academy as one of his first members in 1999. Originally from the streets of Nima, King grew up from the academy's walls, became a footballer before retiring to rejoin the academy as an administrator. He believes the academy system is one of a kind.
Well, the educational system here is a very open, creative, curiosity environment where the students are invited to ask questions and to really get to the fundamentals of understanding the concepts behind every theory or every idea. Football these days is not just about dribbling and kicking the ball. You kind of need to understand the tactical part, how to make decisions.
Every young footballer's dream is to sign a first professional contract, get active playing time and make it in the big time. For the players at this academy though, the aim is pretty different. Education is just as important to them as the football. Take young Michael Leon, who has landed a chance to play in the United States for instance. He joined the academy 3 years back wanting to obviously play football, but he still has high hopes of becoming an engineer.
Through my experience having been in Right Dream, I believe if I go there, I can have the opportunities are there. So if I make use of it, I can explore my potentials and be the best I can be in the classroom, play competitive football as well, because that's what I believe in. That's why I was in Right Dream.
The wall behind me illustrates the map of the world, players from Right to Dream Academy and where they play their football. The likes of Majid Waris, Yaya Boa and Godfrey Saka all have their names illustrated on the wall. Players like Clinton Entry and Michael Leon, who graduate today, will hope that their names will have a place on this wall at the Right to Dream Academy. Yao Fosulabi, TV2.
All right, so that is a very fine report by Alpha Sadabi, but let's still move on and we go straight to the FIFA Confederations Cup, where there are going to be some 2 games to be played today. These are going to be the final round of fixtures in both groups in the FIFA Confederations Cup 2017. Mexico are going to be playing against Russia. New Zealand will also face European champions Portugal, and then later tomorrow there's going to be 2 games as well. Australia will be facing South American champions Chile, and Germany, the world champions, will be coming up against the African champions Cameroon. To the world of boxing now, and Floyd Mayweather seems to be back in his elements and fired off some choice words while pouring with sweat during a training session. The undefeated American was seen hitting a heavy bag and sparring in preparation for his mega fight with Conor McGregor on August 26. While he patrolled the gym, he said, name the opponents, I'll beat them. Mayweather spent 4 hours in a Los Angeles gym and stepped into the ring for some sparring work. All right, so that man is definitely gearing up for one of the biggest bouts in boxing. That is a boxer against, an MMA player, fighter. But let's see exactly how that is going to be playing out. My name is Thierry Nyan. Thanks for watching.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, our melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
How you use your data is up to you. With the best internet speeds, it's amazing what you can do on MTN.
Ghana's Strongest is on TV3 every Sunday, 5 p.m. But this week's event is happening this Saturday at Polygon, Okuchu Park. Time, 2 p.m. It's all about endurance, strength, finesse, techniques and skills bundled together. Don't miss out.
Ghana's Strongest, the power to do.
Ghana's Strongest is brought to you by Mixi Choco, Channel Hot,
Holy Trinity Spa and Health Farm,
Tabia Herbal Mixture and Capsules, and supported by Unia 95.1 FM
and 3news.com.
No matter how hard you try, a regular straight brush just doesn't suit the shape of your mouth. Switch to the new Pepsodent Deep Clean. Unlike a regular brush, the Deep Clean is designed with a 3-curved neck and V bristles for better reach and deeper clean between teeth. New Pepsodent Deep Clean. Reaches better, cleans deeper. Find the new Pepsodent toothbrushes at a store near you.
And to international news now. 700 flats in tower blocks on an estate in the Swiss Cottage area of northwest London have been evacuated because of fire safety concerns. The UK government said fire cladding safety tests have been failed at 27 high-rise blocks in 15 council areas. It comes after Comden Council said there was absolutely nothing if it could be done to have kept 4 London tower blocks open after fire safety concerns were raised. Residents of 650 flats in tower blocks on an estate in the Swiss Cottage area were evacuated late on Friday. A national operation to identify buildings with cladding similar to the that used in Grenfell Tower has seen local authorities send samples for independent tests. The Department for Communities and Local Government said 14 residential high-rise buildings in 9 local authority areas have been found with cladding that raises safety concerns. To entertainment news now. Stonebwoy is set to make history as he prepares to stage a performance at this year's BETS Award as the first Ghanaian musician to perform live on the main stage. The reggae dancehall act will share the stage with some big wigs in American music whilst making Ghana proud.
You know we come from far, we don't watch nobody.
From his second BET nomination to getting married and now the BET main stage. It's definitely been a good year for dancehall superstar Livingstone Setekla, popularly known as Stonebwoy. The Wogbajeke hitmaker will make history as the first Ghanaian to perform on the main stage of the BET Awards on Sunday. The heavyweight musician will share the stage with the likes of Mary J. Blige, A$AP Rocky and others. Performing also from Africa is Nigeria's Wizkid, who jointly won the award for Best International Act with Sarkodie in 2012. Stonebwoy, who has staged many performances across the globe, will yet again have to prove his prowess on the microphone, as well as a good showmanship to entertain the audience at the event. Though there have been some concerns about getting the audience to relate with his songs, entertainment critic Francis Doku believes music is a language, and once it is good, it will resonate with the crowd.
Stonebwoy was in the last Coke Studio Africa in Kenya, and he performed alongside some of the US artists like Trey Songz, you know, and all that. You know, do very well on the stage. Even people who don't understand the music you're singing or understand anything of what you're singing, if they see how good you are, they would appreciate it.
He said the opportunity will open other doors and expose the musician to bigger platforms and possible collaborations with top international acts. He admonished Stonebwoy and his team to take advantage of this to establish networking opportunities with international stars.
Many people and many decision makers will be watching the show. And if they see him, it means that he's an established artist, and it's good for him.
Hoping to pick his second BET award in this year's edition, Stonebwoy will face competition from other musicians in Africa.
Well, we wish him all the best. Thanks so much for watching Midday Live. My name is Asiedu.